Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So if you have been considering to start a career in project management, believe me that now is a great time to start, okay? The demand for project management professionals is growing across various levels of the industry, and I truly believe that being a project manager itself is a highly rewarding career. According to the Project Management Institute or the PMI, nearly 25 million new project management roles are expected to open up globally by 2030. That includes information technology, construction, healthcare, government, and even creative or event management services and marketing teams, who are now hiring dedicated project managers for highly niche projects. So yes, the space is wide open. Opportunities are endless. However, the million-dollar question is, how do you get your foot through the door? How do you really make a start as a fresher or as an entry-level project manager into this industry? That's what is going to be the topic for today's video. By the way, if you are new here, I am Ray and I'm a PMP and a Prince2 certified project manager with over 15 years of experience in project management. I currently work as a program manager here in the UK, and for the past 5 years, I have been coaching aspiring project professionals to build rewarding careers. So in this video, I'll share 5 proven strategies to help you land your first role in project management without overcomplicating the process. And trust me, these strategies will work even if you are a complete newbie and you are willing to start a career in project management. Also, make sure you stick around with me till the end of this video, because the 5th strategy that I'm going to discuss will literally break a very common myth which junior level project managers are often found to have. So let's get the discussion started. So first, let's start with the primary and the most important and foundational strategy, okay? And this is really non-negotiable. You need to have a solid foundation in project management theory and the body of knowledge before you think about starting a career in project management. Now you see guys, a lot of beginners jump straight into certifications or job applications without even knowing how projects actually work, right? Now whimsically, they memorize terms, they memorize tools and acronyms, make fancy CVs. However, when they really face a practical question in the interview, they struggle a lot. This is where most entry-level project managers go wrong, and I hope this makes sense for you. Now remember, even for entry-level roles, interviewers expect you to know the basics of project management. So for example, what is scope? How is risk managed? Who are the stakeholders? How a project gets delivered? And how do you ensure post-project benefits realization? So I strongly recommend that before anything else, build that foundational knowledge on project management properly. You can refer to any available book in the market. You are literally spoiled for choice. Alternatively, you can check out my 16 PDU Project Management Basics course on Udemy. It walks you through all the core concepts. It aligns with the PMI's framework, and it sets you up for interviews, certification, and real-world project management. I'll leave the link below in the description section for you in case you want to explore it. Alright, now secondly, let's talk about what kind of roles to apply for in project management. Look guys, when you are starting a job search as an entry-level project professional, don't just search for project manager, okay, and stop there. That's not how it works. You see, roles like project support officer, project engineer, project intern, assistant project manager, or project graduate trainee. So these terms and job positions are some very common entry-level roles in the project management industry. You will find them on LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster, and sometimes even on company websites directly. So make sure you check those regularly, okay? Now, here is a mistake a lot of entry-level project managers make, okay? They overthink and overemphasize the importance of a salary for a particular role. I have heard people saying that, this job is not paying enough, or let's say, how can I join in a role which pays such a low salary, etc., etc. Now, trust me guys, that way you really risk skipping or ignoring a role that could have taught you more in 6 months as a short-term role rather than any theoretical book or any online course. Because project management at the end of the day is a practical management application oriented field, right? So when you are looking for an entry-level project management role, the goal at this stage is exposure, okay? Not a flashy package. If the role really gets you involved in scope definition, project planning, project reporting, or coordination, it's a win for you, right? So focus on the learning, okay? Salary, while it's important, should come at a second level whilst you are evaluating a job, okay? At least when you are starting off. Make sense? Moving on, as a third strategy, let's talk about certifications. This is still a confusing concept for many, and sometimes you are often spoiled for choices when it comes to choosing the right certification. Well, you see guys, the kind of certification which you aim for must be in line with your seniority and the role which you are doing in the project management industry, right? Hence, right at the beginning, you should be razor sharp to focus only on entry-level project management certifications. You can think about certifications like the CAPM from PMI, or Prince2 Foundation from Axelos, or even the Certified Scrum Master if you are looking at Agile or Scrum-based roles. So these are beginner-friendly certifications and they don't really require years of experience, okay? However, they are good enough to show employers that you are serious about this role. And no, you need not to collect all of them, okay? Just pick one that fits your direction and your career choices and stick with it. The goal here is to show that you have taken the first step and that you understand the basics of project management, right? Even for entry-level jobs, the hiring managers admire when someone not only invests a little time in learning and the skill certification process, but also they demonstrate the learning from the certification during the interview by applying the knowledge in terms of formulating the answer responses in the interview. Okay, so strategy number 4. Now, most beginners completely ignore the interview preparation, okay, when it comes to scouting for entry-level project management role. However, guys, even for entry-level roles, interviewers don't just look at what you have done, okay? And it's not always a CV-based interview. They really look at how you think, how practical you are as a project manager. Do you sort of exhibit the right kind of behaviors as a project manager, okay? And whether you truly want to grow in the project management track, right? So if you go in an interview and just list the tools, definition, and theoretical knowledge, that's really not going to make an impact, okay? What the panel instead wants to see that you are really trying to learn the art of project management and that you understand how projects work, even if you don't have led one of the projects yourself, okay? And that is the gap between practicality and theory that you need to close, okay? Now, to help you provide a bit of direction, I have made a full video on how to prepare for project management interviews, especially when you are starting out. I have shared what to expect, how to answer practical questions, and how to speak in an interview with a proper structured response, etc. Okay, so if you are preparing for your first interview, definitely check that out. I'll leave the link in the description section of this video. Alright guys, now the last one and the most critical one. And this is where most people lose momentum and keep working based on some long-standing myths. So you have done the basics, you have fixed your CV, and now you are ready to apply for jobs, right? So in most cases, what you apply for maybe 4 to 5 jobs and then wait, right? Well guys, let me be very clear on this, that it is not going to work if you are applying for only 4 or 5 handpicked jobs and then waiting for a decision to turn in your favor, at least not in today's market. You see, project management roles, especially the entry-level ones, get a very high number of applications, and many companies don't even respond unless they are moving forward to the next shortlisting stage with your application. So here is the strategy which should be very simple and very effective. You should apply in numbers, okay? For instance, 10 to 15 at least solid applications a week. That's the kind of volume we are talking about, right? I'm not saying that you keep on applying blindly whatever jobs come in your way. However, please don't hold back just because you think you are not fully ready for a role or a job position, or you are too much in love with a position that you have applied for. Trust me, no job or role is the perfect one, okay? Unless you are building your, let's say, own startup or initiative, okay? So please get disassociated with the job or the role you are applying for and apply a role or a job with high objectivity, okay? Because practically the more you apply, the better your chances get and the faster you build momentum, okay? In mathematics, this is called probability, okay? And maths don't lie. So apply in numbers. So guys, those were the 5 strategies which I wanted to share with you today. Look, getting into project management means starting smart. It means learning the basics, at least starting with the basics, and picking up the right kind of mindset, building proof as a project professional through certifications, and applying the right strategy when you are looking for a job, okay? That's it. If you have started exploring this space, focus on building a solid foundation first, okay? And as I mentioned earlier, you can check out my 16 PDU Project Management Basics course on Udemy. It details the core concepts that you will need for your job, okay? And it will also make you a better project manager. Also, let me know in the comments which step you are currently at in your entire project management journey. Have you just started? Are you preparing for an interview? Or let's say you are still deciding where to begin, right? Drop in your questions and I'll be very happy to reply to them. If this video has helped you even a little, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. It helps this type of content to reach out to more people who are serious about starting a project management career. Thank you for watching and I'll see you again soon in the next video.